What's going on, guys? So in this video we're talking about some designer fragrances for spring, which in my opinion, for my taste, is the perfect choices when it comes to designer fragrances for men for the springtime, because they're versatile, there's some freshness, there's also some depth. Some of these will have more spices, woods, a little bit more sweetness, like I said, while still maintaining some freshness. Perfect for the transitional season that is spring. So stay tuned. Starting with the most quintessential when it comes to designer spring fragrances, especially blue fragrances, coming from my channel anyways, is Salvatore Ferragamo's Acqua Essenziale Blue. No secret if you've been following my channel for a decent amount of time that I'm a huge fan of this one. You will get a little bit of citrus up top in the essence of a Bleu de Chanel, though it doesn't really smell like Bleu de Chanel. More of a kind of an essence of Dylan Blue, I guess would be the better way to put it. You will get some tonka bean sweetness that makes it a little powdery in the dry down. Cypriol oil here provides a nice light earthy green tone to give it some backbone with some woods, a little bit of an ambroxan feel, and then an aromatic, slightly soapy lavender towards the top and heart of the fragrance. Performance is well above average. This is a great everyday wear. Like I said, you're going to get a little bit of everything. You get a little bit of freshness, a little bit of sweetness, some woods, a little touch of powder, an earthy tone. There's a variety of nuance to this fragrance. For being a blue fragrance, that's actually pretty impressive, especially for one that you can get around 40 bucks from discounters online. I have links to everything down below. First one we had to start with was Acqua Essenziale Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. This next one can be found for a fantastic price. Even though the bottle is blue, the name is blue, it's actually quite green and fresh. We're talking about Varvatos Artisan Blue. Pretty much my favorite spring fragrance. Not going to win any performance awards, but boy, when you smell this one, there's herbaceous green spice, fresh cut grass, a little bit of citrus, just this wide variety and amalgamation of fresh green notes. It's believable. It's not cheap and synthetic smelling, but you can get this in the $30 to $40 range from discounters online. Like I said, not winning performance awards. It's about a 4-hour fragrance on my skin, but you want to talk about magnificent elegance when it comes to green fragrances. Like I said, don't let the color in the name fool you. Very, very green fragrance. For the spring, it just screams spring to me. It's one of my all-time favorites, if not my absolute all-time favorite for spring. Great daily wear this time of year. Again, that's Varvatos Artisan Blue. This next one I just picked up yesterday at the recording of this. It's actually my scent choice of the day. It's a little bit more on the spicy side than fragrances like Mont Blanc Legend, or even what it smells closest to, with that being Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce and Parfum de Marley Percival. This is Mercedes-Benz Man. This is the original in the line. I do have several from this particular line. Just now getting this 30 ml bottle of the original to add to my collection. Big fan of this one. Like I said, very oak moss dominant. Initially, in my first impressions, before I had checked any notes, I was thinking maybe a little bit of pepper and some basil, because it has this green herbaceous spicy tone that pretty much hangs out from start to finish, intensifies a little bit as it dries, with this overt freshness, a little bit of that cologne smell. Not cologne, C-A-L-O-N-E. Those of you that know what that synthetic chemical smell is like, because this is a very synthetic fragrance, but out in the air, I have to tell you, quite a joy. So much so, my wife loved it so much, she actually sprayed it on herself as well. You never know who's gonna like what. You know, it's marketed for men, but boy, my wife sure enjoys it on her. Loves how it smells on me. For those that like the Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce scent profile, but want something that's probably suited a little bit better for the daytime than Fierce would be, because of the added oak moss chypre feel, that green spicy tone that kind of grounds it and adds a little bit more of a maturity. Again, surprised my wife wanted to wear it, but she typically doesn't wear masculine fragrances, but she really likes this one. This is one to consider. Again, I'm very late to the party on this one, but I have been enjoying it since the moment I got it, and it's definitely worth checking out if you like the Fierce scent profile but want the spiciest take that I've come across on the DNA. You're going to want to check out Mercedes-Benz Man. This next one has become an immediate personal favorite of mine. I used to have a decant, now I've secured a 60 ml bottle. It is my favorite in the YSLY line. This is YSLY. This is the Le Parfum. Beautiful black bottle. So here you're going to get a lot of bright, fizzy, and effervescent aldehydes. Very bubbly and sparkly, with this grapefruit apple ginger combo that, believe it or not, comes off kind of like a bright and zesty orangey citrus type of smell. Just how it comes across to me. Some will say more so grapefruit. Just kind of how it smells to me. Crisp and fresh spicy ginger is at the core of this fragrance. You do get that musky ambergris DNA tone of the original, even though ambergris is not really listed here. Some soft woods. It's very aromatic. This is super easy to like. A little bit deeper than the rest of the scents in the line, while still maintaining a lot of the brightness and freshness because of the aldehydes and citrus at the top, and still having similar performance, not quite as beastly as the eau de parfum. So this is a nice happy medium for anybody that may like and dislike certain things about other fragrances in the line. I believe this to be the most complete take on the DNA, and it's absolutely fantastic for spring. Again, that's Yves Saint Laurent Y Le Parfum. One that gets overlooked unfairly, in my opinion, that I need to get in my rotation, that's the reason it's in this video to be featured, is Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. There has been several flankers to come out since the inception of this fragrance. Now, it does maintain a bit of the original's DNA. It still has that spicy apple smell, though instead of cinnamon, it's a cardamom note here. You still get the fruitiness. It has a strong sage tone, so it makes it more of a blue version in many ways to the scent profile. Smells similar to like more spicy blue fragrances out there than traditional Boss No. 6 and Boss Bottled flankers that tie into the DNA, because again, this still ties into the DNA. It's just basically what I would consider the modern take on the Boss No. 6 scent profile. Like I said, the bluer version, if you will. Performance is well above average. I get every bit of 8 hours on my skin with this one. This is super easy to like, very versatile every day, to where it's not too spicy. It does settle down into a more warm and spicy tone, but it starts off very bright and fresh spicy with the strong aromatic tone, kind of that musky smell. Musky, aromatic, slightly soapy smell that sage can provide, with a little bit of that crisp fruitiness, like I was saying. Soft woods, just everything you've ever liked about Boss No. 6, just modernized with Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. The most refined take on a timeless classic scent DNA. You'll notice there's several blue fragrances in this video because spring is the ultimate season for the blue fragrance, in my opinion. And Polo Bleu Parfum is one of the better blue fragrances to come out in quite some time. I'm a big fan of this one. I had a decant last year. Super happy to have a bottle because they've hit discounters. A 75 ml I got for 55 or 60 bucks from Joma Shop. I forgot exactly. It's 55 or 60. Again, I'll have links down below, but still has that beautiful fresh greenery, aquatic, watery cucumber type of smell. Even though I don't recall that cucumber note being listed in here, it does smell like an enhanced, richer, deeper take on Polo Bleu Eau de Toilette, the original, which is a parfum flanker done right. I'm very proud of Ralph Lauren and the company as a whole for creating this fragrance, because there's a bunch of great flankers, and the Gold Blend was kind of the standard for the king of the mountain in the Polo Bleu DNA, and for some it still may be, but for me this one speaks to me a bit more because it's long lasting, it's rich and deep, and ties into the original smell without being too loud and in your face and intrusive to others. It leaves room for discovery because of the rich sillage. It doesn't have to scream off of your skin, but it does have a nice consistent scent bubble that will linger when you pass by others, and that's kind of more the projection sillage combo that I like 9 times out of 10. Sometimes I want a beast, most times I don't. This one provides long-lasting efforts on my skin with room for discovery. Just magnificent. Great with a suit and tie, too. This is a great refined blue fragrance. It's Polo Bleu Parfum. And speaking of refined blue fragrances, I would be remiss to say these things about Polo Bleu Parfum without talking about the other blue fragrance that I believe does the exact same things well, but a different scent profile in DNA. We're talking about Bleu de Chanel Parfum. What I believe to be pretty much as perfect of a blue fragrance as it gets. Again, rich, warm, long-lasting on my skin. Leaves room for discovery, not too in your face. The richest version of this scent profile, the Bleu de Chanel scent profile, is timeless. It defines a generation of modern men's designer fragrances. It's zesty and citrusy at the top. It's soft, warm, rich woods throughout. It is just beautiful. Again, the business professionals blue fragrance. the performance on this one really suits the transitional seasons such as spring and fall. That's why I think it's ideal to discuss this fragrance this time of year. If you've yet to try this one for whatever reason, wherever they sell Chanel fragrances, they will have this. Get out, spray this one on your skin, and spend some time with it. Don't just sit there and sniff it directly off of your hand. Kind of walk around and live in the sillage for a few hours and see how you feel about it. This is one that I had multiple rounds of testing before I decided to commit to a full bottle, because as a lot of you may or may not know, when it comes to Chanel fragrances, not easy to find at a discounter. More times than not, you're going to pay retail for a Chanel fragrance, and this is one of those fragrances. But I'll tell you what, it's worth all the money in my opinion. I gladly paid retail for this one. It was either Ulta or Sephora when I got it a few years ago, because like I said in the beginning of this segment, I believe this to be as close to a perfect blue fragrance as it gets. Perfect for the spring as well. Bleu de Chanel Parfum. You'll notice that I like the Parfum flankers when it comes to a lot of these blues and great everyday wears for men, because my favorite version of Davidoff Cool Water is indeed the Parfum. So we've had 3 Parfum flankers in a row, but I gotta tell you guys, if you can get your hands on this one, get your nose on it. There we go, we got it to focus. I was lucky enough to find this for $25 at a Marshall's for this 50 ml. You can find it from discounters online. And picture a kind of sharp lemon, bright, sweet, spicy pink pepper, earthy, lightly smoked vetiver, a little bit of a touch of ambroxan smell to it, even though that's not really listed, with long-lasting performance, decent projection, a little bit stronger in the projection than the last 2 Parfum flankers that we discussed prior to this one, with a beautiful sillage. Great dressy occasion or t-shirt, casual situation type of fragrance. True signature scent type of stuff right here with Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. Again, huge fan of this one. I love smelling this one out in the air like that. It's awesome. It's definitely on the spicier side of things, spicy and woody when it comes to the Cool Water scent profile and DNA. Doesn't completely relate to the Eau de Toilette nor the Intense. I would say that's 2 different sides of the spectrum, with this kind of falling in a happy medium, whereas the EDT is timeless, a bit more fresh and aquatic. The Intense is extremely youthful and playful, whereas there's more of a serious edge while still maintaining some of that original freshness and likability from the EDT. So this one kind of falls in the middle for me. Again, absolutely worth trying. It is my Cool Water recommendation for the springtime for sure. Again, that's Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. Tons of hype over the years, and you know, while I don't think it's the greatest designer fragrance out there, it has continued to grow on me as time has persisted. Again, my wife is a big fan of this one. If you're looking for the Aventus style with kind of its own twist at an affordable range, Mont Blanc's got you covered with Explorer. There's a lot of people that swear by this fragrance, and you know, I get it. The versatility's there, the likability factor's there, performance is pretty good. This isn't a beast on my skin, it's kind of an average performer. Most people have told me they get above average performance, which average for me is in that 5 to 6 hour range. This one is pretty nice though. Bergamot, a little bit of a woody smell. It's got this leathery feel to it. A little dark and fruity in many ways. With a nice ambroxan freshness. I am not afraid of ambroxan scents. Some people can't stand them. Some people have sensitivity issues where they get headaches with overly synthetic, high ambroxan concentrated fragrances. While I wouldn't call this an ambroxan bomb, it's definitely noticeable, but it blends very well with the other notes and accords because you get a little bit of bitter juiciness to this bergamot that kind of really brings things out and gives it a little bit of a mature vibe when it comes to fresher fragrances. But when I say mature, I don't mean old man smell. This is another one that's hyper versatile, dresses up, dresses down, great everyday work scent, not too much for when it's very hot in the spring, and also enough depth and performance for those cooler days in the spring to where it's just going to be good in any situation. And if you haven't tried it yet, it's one worth considering. It's perfect for the spring, it really is. Mont Blanc Explorer. Last but most certainly not least, this is one of the newer fragrances to the collection. Newest Coach fragrance that is known to be related to Dolce & Gabbana K's scent profile, but I think this is superior to K in every way, because if you like spicy, peppery scents with the aromatics, you will like Coach Open Road. So Coach Open Road has this lavender clary sage combo, so it's full of bright, lightly soapy, and somewhat creamy aromatics and woods, but it's mainly this Sichuan pepper note that characteristically it's a fleeting spice, but for some reason here it stays from start to finish on my skin. May just be my skin chemistry, but typically Sichuan pepper is a nice bright heat that'll hit you and kind of slowly fade away. When I say slowly, I don't mean through hours. I mean within an hour, hour and a half, usually that peppery note will be gone when Sichuan pepper is the featured spicy note. Here, that's not the case. It sticks around through pretty much the entirety of the life of the fragrance. I'm a big fan of this one. I know it's kind of mediocre and average release for a lot of people, but I've also seen a lot of people message me in comments where I've discussed this one or in my full review video of this fragrance on how much they really enjoy this one. That's the case for me. I really enjoy this one. Simplistic in its design and scent profile, but so enjoyable and highly versatile, especially in a transitional season where you get some warm weather, you get some cool weather, like the spring. Average to slightly above average performer, kind of in that 7-hour range on my skin, and not too in your face, but can definitely garner a little bit of positive attention, and the versatility is definitely there. So check this one out if you've yet to get your nose on it. It's worth it this spring. Coach Open Road. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What in this video have you tried, or are you interested in getting your nose on? Again, I'll have links to everything down below for anybody that's interested in checking any of these fragrances out. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the 10 that were featured here and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.